It is officially 1:13, as you can see on the clock. The first time I made this video, it was 1:11, but I'm on my fourth take on this video because every single time I tried to say it, I kept saying 11:11, but no, it was 1:11. But the last time I looked at my clock before then, it was 11:11. And I thought, well, what would be interesting would be if it's the next time I look 1:11. And then boom, it happened while I'm just sitting here in one of my favorite places to park, overlooking the city at the beautiful red rocks. And one of the most common questions that I get asked is, what does it mean when I see repeating numbers, especially 1:11 or 11:11? And the truth is that the universe is always speaking to us, because the universe itself is a living consciousness. Consciousness is everything. These look like glasses, but they're just a massive energy moving at a very high speed of vibration. This looks like a hand, but it's really just a massive energy moving at a very high speed of vibration. So I want you to just do something. Do something for me. Go like this with your finger so you can touch your finger. Or put your hand on your knee. And you can feel the mass of that, the matter of that. It feels like a solid object. It's actually just energy moving at a very high speed of vibration. And science tells us energy is never created or destroyed. So if energy is never created or destroyed, that only postulates one theory, and that is the theory of life. The theory of a living, inanimate, animating presence of the universe, spirit, God, consciousness. Now we know from quantum physics that this energy from a subatomic level is influenced by the consciousness that observes it. It's that common thing, the observer effect, which is this crazy thing about how subatomic particles, you can sometimes see them and sometimes you can't, based off of the consciousness that's observing it. So they called it the observer effect, because subatomic particles would sometimes be in third dimension and sometimes they would seemingly disappear into another dimension. But where did it go? If everything's energy and energy is never created or destroyed, then the only thing that could happen is that it moved to a frequency pattern, a frequency of energy. What is frequency? It's just a specific rate of energy, a specific rate of vibration. So those subatomic particles, they moved to a frequency that was beyond visible light, beyond this dimension. This dimension that when I look at myself in my phone here, or you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, this is who I am. I'm Jake, you're Bill, you're Susie, you're whomever the heck you are. And we think we are what we see, smell, taste, touch. We think we are what we see in the mirror. But if everything's energy and you're a spiritual being in a physical body, then 99% of who you are, you cannot see, you cannot smell, you cannot taste, you cannot touch, and you cannot perceive, even with the most powerful microscope. Because if scientists put you under the most powerful microscopes that perceive subatomic particles, sometimes your body would be visible, or some of the cells, the subatomic particles in your body, they'd sometimes be visible and they'd sometimes be invisible. So you yourself are vibrating at such a quick speed of vibration, the speed of light, that all the time your community, which your body is a community of 100 trillion plus cells, those 100 trillion plus cells are vibrating at the speed of light, fluxing in and out of third dimension. It's kind of crazy to think about. Now, this energy is always moving to and through us. It's just sometimes our mind gets in the way of it, or stress gets in the way of it, or we get so lost in identifying with our own thoughts that we lose touch with ourselves as a spiritual being. Like, for a sec, take a deep breath through your nose. Go like, ah. And then ask yourself, is there life in my hand? Bring your attention to your hand. Don't ask yourself that as a yes or no question. Bring your attention to your hand and say, can I feel the energy in my hand? Can I feel the life in my hand? And when your mind becomes still enough and you focus on your breath enough, you can feel the energy pulsing from your own hand. And what is this telling you? Every time you see repeating numbers, what I like to do is take it as a sign that the miracle working presence moves to and through me. It's one of my favorite Bob Proctor quotes. You can comment it down below. The miracle working presence of the universe flows to and through me. And I like to remind myself of that, not because of the string of words, but because of the level of awareness that it flicks a switch on in my inner being that reconnects me with the universe, which reconnects me to spirit, which is infinite energy. It's always for expansion. It's always for constant expression. And I always like to take it as a reminder that I'm not alone. That one, I don't need to do everything alone. And that two, I'm part of this beautiful universe. I like to call it God. That God, or this energy, this life force, loves me so much and loves you so much. And there's a lot of craziness in the world. There's always been, but it seems like the last 24 months or so, the world's gotten a lot crazier, and it's easy for us to lose connection to spirit that's always moving to and through us. And so what I invite you to do is every time you see a repeating number, repeat that phrase. The miracle working presence of the universe flows to and through me. And then stop and see if you can feel the energy in your hand. And when you feel the energy in your hand, it's when you disconnect from mind. And when you disconnect from mind, it's like a spigot in a faucet that gets decalcified, and all of a sudden the water flow starts to increase. Similarly, spirit energy then starts to flow through you unimpeded or uninterrupted. And that's when really good things start to happen in life very quickly and very fast. So I look at repeating numbers literally as higher intelligence communicating to me through symbols, patterns, or numbers to let me know to connect to my true self, to remind me that this reality is an illusion. I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. I cannot die because I'm not my body anyways. You cannot die. You're not your body anyways. That literally you're a spiritual being in a physical body. You're made in the image of God. This energy is for constant expansion and fuller expression. It's love at its very core. And every time I do that, right after, something good happens. It's like there's all this good stuff, money, opportunities, new friends, solutions to your problems, great ideas, creativity, happiness, inspiration, ease, good fortune. It's like you can become a magnet instantly for everything that you want. But the only thing that stops us that is attachment to our mind, and thus attachment to ourself as a body, which is collapsing infinite consciousness into 1% of who we are and perceiving it as our true self. It's like living in one tiny room your whole life and thinking it's the whole world because you've never been outside before. And I'm always grateful when I see it and I notice it once and I go, oh, that's cute. And then I see it again and I'm like, oh, it's speaking to me. So in this video, I just want to remind you, whether or not you're seeing repeating numbers or not, whether you see 1111, 222, you see it on phones, you see it on house addresses, you see it on your clock, or you're not seeing it at all. Either way, I felt inspired to make this message to remind you that the miracle working presence of the universe flows to and through you. There's nothing to worry about because life's happening for you, not to you. This universe is infinite in nature. There is no scarcity or limitations that you and I do not impose on ourselves through our own consciousness. Because if the observer effect creates reality down to a subatomic level, and it can actually make particles appear and disappear, and everything is made up of this energy or this particles, then theoretically, the only thing stopping you from having what it is that you want in life, money's made of particles, good ideas are made of particles, relationships are made of energy, your dreams, your goals, everything you want is just energy moving at different frequency patterns. And the repeating numbers is just a reminder to take a breath and tap back in to that God-loving frequency that's always zinging in every single cell of our body. But sometimes we kind of constrict the flow through focusing on our mind so much. So, wishing you a beautiful day. If you interpret it a different way, you can let me know in the comments right there down below. You can comment down below that God is love in the comments right there down below. And if you haven't yet, be sure you get my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's right there down below. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind. In the same way, I noticed 95% of your life, according to psychologists, is subconscious, and 70% of that is negative and redundant. And so what happens is psychologists say we have 65,000 thoughts in one day. 95% of them are subconscious. So I realized subconsciously I was also blocking the miracle working presence of the universe because I couldn't stay conscious enough. So my old habitual programming was creating my life on autopilot, just like the way you program the GPS of a car to make sure you get to the right destination. It's just that my GPS was programmed in the wrong direction. Chances are yours has just been programmed in the wrong direction too. But the good news is, due to repetition, you can rewire your mind. All you got to do is listen to it for a couple minutes in the morning and at night. Over 1 million people from all over the world have used this. Pretty amazing that's happened. So let me know where in the world you're coming from in the comments. Be sure to get my free success hypnosis. Have an absolutely beautiful day, and I will see you on the next video.